Good morning. Today is Thursday, 28th of November, 2024. Firstly, I'd like to register my most personal, heartfelt thanks to all the donors who made voluntary contributions towards my eye treatment. Thanks to your kindness, generosity, empathy, and compassion, I've been able to go for my Ayurveda treatment almost every day. I didn't go on Monday because I had an appointment with the ophthalmology medical officer at the ophthalmology clinic at the University of Malaya Medical Center. And I'm not going today, Thursday, because I need a break. And also, I'm going for my meditation class today. If I, because each appointment, like half a day gone, because I go by public transport, by bus, because I don't want to waste your money on taxi fare. What do you call it? I walk to the bus stop, walk to the, MRT station, wherever I can walk, I walk lah. Exercise does me some good also. So anyway, I just felt it would be best utilization of your donations by spending as much as I can on the treatment rather than on taxi fare and stuff. As you may know, I'm not able to drive, not since September last year. And got no choice lah, but to walk and take public transport, either by bus, MRT, LRT, Rapid KL services. And also the PJ Majlis Pembadaran Petaling Jaya also has free buses, the green color bus. I normally take PJ05 or PJ02 to get to where I need to go. I haven't been updating all the donors who've donated money until now, primarily because of all my appointments, because it's half a day gone, and then also with the eye treatment, I gets a little blurry, and I need to rest for a while, stuff like that. And by the time I get home, I'm so exhausted. So I do apologize for not updating. So I made this video to list all the kind donors who've donated since 24th of November, which is Sunday, until yesterday, 27th of November, Wednesday. And my next appointment with Ayurveda would continue on Friday and Saturday, and on Tuesday as well. I don't like to go on Sundays because Ayurveda Center is very crowded on Sundays. A lot of people, a lot of patients come on Sundays because they can't come for treatment during weekdays, possibly because they work or whatever. And also I don't go on Mondays because it's their off day, although they do have treatment. The last treatment is at 12 until 1. And then 1 o'clock, no more treatment because it's the off day. The therapist only work till 1 and the doctor's off on Monday. So if I go, I don't get a consultation with the doctor. So I booked until Tuesday. So if more donations come in, I can have more Ayurveda treatments. The goal is to reduce my cataracts to below 10%, which is minimal. Then after that, I just need to do follow-up. But until then, it's best to do as much as possible. I've checked with my Ayurveda doctor, Dr. Anita, who actually has both an MD in Ayurveda as well as a PhD in Ayurveda. She did doctoral research on Ayurveda as well, on the antibacterial properties of medicinal herbs. So that's that. Also, because of all the treatments and all that, I have a backlog of videos to make, videos of Imraz Iqbal's voice notes, which I've put on hold temporarily because I get so exhausted. In fact, last night I can't. Yesterday evening, I don't know what time I slept. Just soon after 5, because I was so exhausted. But when I got home, then I woke up at 10, thinking at 2200. I was thinking it was already this morning. So I decided to just make the video about the um, donors, to thank every donor. So as usual, if I put the names, I don't put the money, the amount that they donated. If I put the amount that they've donated, I don't put the names. Primarily because, if people donate RM1, I don't want their friends to tease them, why you so chekai and all that. Or if they donated 2,000, people have done previously when I made a fundraising campaign for my iPad, I don't want their family members or spouse or whatever to say, hey, why you give this guy so much? You don't spend on me and all that. So just to avoid those kind of issues, not because I want to be opaque and not transparent, but the issues there. And also previously when I when I gave people my phone number so that they can transfer money using Do It Now, they can use my phone number as the account number to bank in. I used to thank them, and some people have WhatsApp me back to say that they don't want their names to be put. I thought it was only fair to thank people who donated money, but this person, was a bit annoyed that I put that, which was a bit odd. In any case, if you wish to be anonymous when you make the money transfer, you just put in the reference anon. You don't have to put eye treatment because that is the account I've designated for all eye treatment. So any money going in there is 100% for my eye treatment. Mostly right now it's for Ayurveda, but I also do acupuncture once a month. The acupuncture actually is just an adjunct to improve blood circulation so that more blood goes to your eyes, bringing nutrients, and more blood goes away, taking away nutrients. But the main reason I go is also to get the prescription for the TCM eye supplements called Zheng Yan Ming Tian. So this is the supplements per bottle is $12.50. A month's supply would be 3 bottles because each bottle has 100 tablets, and one day I take 9 tablets, 3 in the morning, 3 lunchtime, 3 in the evening. So a month's supply would cost about 37.50 plus the 20 ringgit for the acupuncture. You can't get the prescription without a consultation with the doctor, and the consultation comes together with the acupuncture. If I don't do the acupuncture, just to get the prescription will also cost me $20, so I might as well do the acupuncture. And the other modality I do is Bekam at a place called Aku Bekam in Taman Tun. Now, the founder of Aku Bekam is the late Dr. Helena Abdullah. She did her PhD in Bekam at a university in Sri Lanka. I can't remember the name of the exact university. And her PhD thesis she turned into a book called Innovative Bekam. And this book is available at Aku Bekam in Taman Tun. What do you call it, in both English and Malay. Okay, the English ones are quite rare, maybe out of print or something, but the Malay one's definitely available. And Dr. Helena passed away 3 weeks after my mom passed away 5 years ago. So now the clinic is run by her daughter, who has a MD in complementary medicine, also from the same Sri Lankan university. In fact, she was doing the degree the same time her mother was doing her PhD. Okay, so that costs 200 ringgit an hour. But if I buy a package of 5 hours, instead of paying 1,000, I only pay 680. So there's a 32% discount there. And how Aku Bekam works, it removes toxins that are deposited in the fatty tissue, the adipose tissue at various parts of the body, primarily on other side of the spine, but also for the eyes in the area around the eyebrow and in the nape at the back of the head. So what happens is fat-soluble toxins are meant to be removed by the lymphatic system, but in primates and in humans, the lymphatic system is somewhat inefficient. So when toxins are not removed, they're stored in the adipose tissue, primarily because that's where it does least harm. So the fat and the adipose tissue sort of encapsulates the toxins so that they don't harm the rest of the body. But the problem is, once the adipose tissue is saturated with toxins, then toxins from other parts of the body can't migrate to these toxin stores, as it were. So then they remain where they are and cause issues. So I have used Aku Bekam to get rid of my gout. In fact, I first went there about 13 years ago or so to get rid of my gout. And it was recommended by my brother. At first, I was quite skeptical, about bloodletting and all that. And he said, if you really want to know whether it works or not, wait until you have your next gout attack and then go. And sure enough, I had a gout attack. In fact, my last gout attack was in 2017 on just before Valentine's Day. And ever since then, I've never had a gout attack. So when I had that gout attack in 2017, it was so bad I couldn't walk. I couldn't step on the ball of my feet. I had to walk on my heels, and when you walk on your heels, you walk sideways rather than front. So, like macam ketam lah, sidestepping like a crab. Had to use a tongkat to get into the clinic. But within 45 minutes of doing the Aku Bekam, I could flex my fingers. And if I were a surgeon, I could do surgery. Or if I were a pianist, I could play the piano, It's so, you get almost immediate results, 45 minutes, And then when I first went, about 13 years ago or so, Dr. Helena recommended that I come again in 6 months for maintenance, but I was still not quite convinced. So I waited to see how long it'll take before I get my next gout attack, and I got it in 2 years. 2 years since that first thing, the first session I had. So actually, if you want to be very effective with Bekam, you should do one session and then another session 2 weeks later. Because when you do the Bekam, the toxins in the fat store are removed, and then the toxins from various organs will migrate to these fat stores. So 2 weeks time, if you do another Bekam, it will get rid of all the toxins that were stored in the fat that had just migrated from other parts of the body, and then you'll be gout free for a long, long while, particularly if you avoid foods high in purines. There are some plant materials and fungi materials, like mushrooms are high in purines, brinjals and tomatoes are, relative to other vegetables, are high in purines, but I can't remember the units, but it's something like 4 to 7 units. And if you eat, like sotong, for example, it's 250. So, if you avoid seafood, offal, which is, animal organs, or just become vegetarian, you can avoid gout. If you're having a gout attack, then don't take brinjals, terong, katrika, or mushrooms, because you're already over the threshold. Adding even a little bit more doesn't help. But if you're not having a gout attack, you can eat as many mushrooms and brinjals and tomatoes as you like, and it won't it won't reach the threshold for you to get a gout attack. Your uric acid levels won't reach the threshold. And if you do want to eat tomatoes and are very susceptible to gout, avoid the seeds because the purines are concentrated in the seeds. So if you avoid the seeds, it's fine. Okay, and I've got some bonus material for you. It's about lanestrol. Lanestrol, I first heard of it about 5.5 years ago when I first had my cataracts. I did some literature search about how to reverse it. And at that time, it was still in the research stage. Now it's commercially available, but only for pets, not for humans, okay? So don't order it online and then use it on yourself. It's not certified for use on humans. They're still doing the clinical trials and all that, phase 3, phase 4, and all that kind of clinical trials until it's certified safe. I suggest you don't use lanestrol, primarily because of the law of unintended consequences. There might be things that may happen if you use these eye drops that you didn't expect. And if the consequences are, rather serious or dire or irreversible, then, it's too late to do anything about it. This is what we call the precautionary principle. So, it's better to, what do you call it? Prevention is better than cure. Or sometimes there's no cure, then you're buggered. I think that's it for today. I'm going for my meditation class at 10:30 to 12, and then I come home, and then if I'm not too tired, I don't think I'll be that tired, but I can't promise, but I'll try to do the backlog of videos of Imras's voice notes. So thank you for your kind understanding and patience about that. But if I can't see, I can't make videos. So it's important that I sort out my eyes. And I'll make a short video shortly about what it's a photograph I took from the bus, but I've modified it so that you can see what I see. Okay, so the photo, the iPhone will take the photo as you would see it, but I had to adjust the contrast and the brightness so that you have an idea what it's like for me to see things as a colorblind person and as a person who suffers from photophobia, which is hypersensitivity to light. And the reason I have photophobia is that I have another condition called mydriasis, which is like the permanent dilation of the pupils. So my pupils don't constrict. I have a very sluggish pupillary response, but because they are permanently open, everything is super bright. So outdoors on super bright days, super sunny days, I have to wear two sunglasses, one on top of the other. I have my regular sunglasses, and then I have my over spectacles, which is like safety goggles on top of the regular glasses before I can see anything. Otherwise, everything is just like snow blizzard or white fog, very low contrast and a lot of white, and colors kind of disappear. I can tell whether the car is white or black or red, but if it's blue or black, it looks black to me. If it's silver or gray, they look the same to me, some kind of shade of gray. And cars which are green, like lime green or whatever, they look gray to me. And it's hard sometimes, but thankfully you guys have donated for my iPad, and the iPad uses, has assistive technology. I can use Safari on reader mode, which makes it easy for me to read. And if apps or websites don't support reader mode, then I can invert the colors using either smart invert or classic invert. Classic invert just turns everything like a negative, so everything white turns black, and everything black turns white. Smart mode is not so smart, but the smart there has got some AI features that it will invert black black text into white, and then a white background into a white background into black, and black text into white, but it won't disturb photographs. So photographs don't look like negatives, but they look like they actually are. And if that fails, like the MAE app doesn't support dark mode, doesn't support classic, classic or smart invert. But if I put both smart and classic, then it works, So it's really weird how these software developers don't consider contrast, when designing their websites. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like giving them a piece of my mind. I think that's all for today, and I hope just to talk to you again tomorrow or later today. Bye. I've singled out Kang Zheng because whenever I do a search on Google Scholar on lanestrol, his name keeps cropping up as the author of various papers on lanestrol. So I did a search of his name on the journal Nature, and lo and behold, I found here 2,310 results. So he's published that much papers just on mostly on lanestrol. I wonder how many papers Dr. Ng Tak Chun has published in Nature.